Welcome to another episode of Senior Stories at Trinity Bible College and Graduate School. I'm Garrett Fryer. I am one of the vice presidents here at the institution, and it is my delight and honor to sit down today with our special guest.
Womp womp womp, Sister Miller.
That's the best intro we've had of any student this entire time. So kudos for that. Hopefully that's not like where we start and it's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
Alcista Miller, where are you from?
I'm from Wagner, South Dakota. I grew up on a reservation there. Yeah, that's where I'm from.
How did you end up at Trinity Bible College and Graduate School?
Yeah, so my junior and senior year, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like, God, why? What do I do with my life? And so I was really stressing about it. I was talking to my youth pastor and his wife for weeks and just crying with them. They were trying to help me figure out what the next steps looked like. I considered doing the Air National Guard, going into the trades, just because I didn't really think I was smart enough to go to school at the time. But then there's this man named Dobie Weasel. He came to the reservation and he did a Bible study training. And my parents had gone. And so after work, I went over and he talked to me and asked me a bunch of questions about my life. What do you want to do with your life? What do you see God wanting to do with your life? And I just told him I didn't know, and he told me about Trinity, and Dobie's actually a board member here, and so I get to see him every so often. But yeah, I checked out the school. I set up a visit, and I was really awkward and really scared of people, but everybody was really nice. Honestly, when I did come, and people would ask me questions, and the coach here, Sarah Lee, she was really interested in me coming for volleyball as well, and so that kind of played a big role in me actually deciding to come. So.
Sure. Was it Dobie that gave you a $100 bill for roasting me on stage?
He told me he was going to.
Did he not actually pay up?
I don't think so.
Dobie, come on, man. Pay up, sucker.
So funny.
Yeah, you made fun of me on stage, and then he said he was going to give you $100.
So
I thought he really did.
He gave me kudos. He was like, oh, that was amazing.
I thought he actually, I think he told me he gave you, I don't know where that came from. Maybe
That's
not.
Funny.
That's funny. So you came to Trinity, obviously as an athlete, a student athlete.
Yes.
Volleyball for 4 years.
Yeah.
Good career.
Yeah, it was so fun. Honestly, my 4 years here were some of the best sports I've played. And I played a lot of sports in high school. Everyone I could think of, I played. And the team and the atmosphere here was just really good, unlike anything else.
Sure, that's awesome. So, what kind of expectations did you have coming into Trinity as a freshman? What did you think? What were you hoping for? How did that play out in your mind?
Yeah. Well, freshman to me was a lot different than how I am now. I was
good, because that's what we want for all students.
Yes, that's the goal.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I was just really afraid of people. I'd never been away from home. I lived in the same house for 18 years, and so I figured it was going to be really scary that people wouldn't want to be my friend. I was just super anxious about I had a lot of irrational thoughts that really didn't come to fruition. I had so many friends and a lot of good relationships. Professors were so good, and so expectations were this is gonna be really awful and I'm gonna have to stick it out, but it was so much better than what I thought.
Sure.
So that's all on God. He's just so good.
Yeah. Can you explain some of the intangible ways, what were some of those things your freshman, sophomore year that really solidified yeah, I'm supposed to be here?
Yeah, I made a best friend my freshman year, and she really spoke a lot into my life, and we got to speak into each other's lives. And taking my freshman courses with Wallstead and Thurber, I didn't really know much about the Bible, but the way that they taught the classes, I felt like I was a biblical scholar. I started to learn things, and then the overarching idea of the Bible started to make sense, and I was wow, I think I could do ministry. I felt empowered to do that. And when going back to like my high school year, like I told God that like I wasn't going to be able to afford college. And so working with my enrollment counselor, like she told me about a scholarship, and I got approved and like accepted for that scholarship, which covered all of my tuition. And that was just like one of the factors that kind of played into me like being like, oh yeah, this is where I'm supposed to go. And then after being here for a while and like through my years here, like God provided the money every single time. And so I was like, wow, like he really wants me to be here so much that like this money is coming out of the woodworks, like people reaching out to me, like saying like, hey, here's a scholarship, like stuff like that. Yeah.
So can I ask, are you graduating debt free?
Next to my freshman year, I had my full tuition scholarship, but these last 3 years, yes.
Sure.
So I had like,
So it's pretty nominal.
yeah, it's just like a little bit of room and board, but I
Sure.
paid for some of that out of pocket too. So.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, we have lots of students, obviously yourself included, that have very little debt or none at all.
Yeah.
Coming out of college, which is great for you as an individual, but even better for your future.
Yes.
Because you don't have to
super
worry
exciting.
about that. You don't have to stress about that. And then you can take a really low paying job.
Yes. Exactly.
That's not our goal.
Work bivocational.
Yeah. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So you obviously mentioned a little bit about your academic journey through, even your freshman year. Some of that probably felt like drinking from a fire hose.
Yeah.
You come into a Bible college and you don't know much about the Bible.
Yes.
And then it's just blasted intensely your freshman year.
Yeah.
But how have your other classes, you feel like they've prepared you well for whatever's next?
Yeah. So I'm here on an intercultural studies degree, and so getting into those classes after my freshman year was like super exciting, and probably was part of the reason why I wanted to stay as well, because it was like, yeah, this is what I want to do, this is why I came, and these are the things that like did prepare me for like my internship and for when me and my husband Nathan Miller would go and do
just
outreach.
a time out, by the way.
Yes.
It took you way less time to mention your spouse than it did him in his interview. So
Good.
kudos to you.
Good to know.
It's always the women.
Yes. I know. But yeah, like those classes really helped us to prepare for like outreach that we were doing to like other reservations, or like going back to my own reservation, and just investing in that. Like when we were on our internship, like I got fatigued a lot more than I thought I was going to, and so there were things that we would talk about in class that I was like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I'm feeling right now. And so I didn't feel like I was insane. Like I was like, okay, like this is okay. And so I got to reach out to Savannah and tell her some of the things that like we were encountering while we were on our internship, and she encouraged me in that. And yeah, I have definitely felt very prepared for the future, and yeah.
Great. Academically. So on the other side of that, we obviously talk a lot about experiences at Trinity, part of my job.
Yes.
And so has Trinity given you opportunities to grow in like the practical side of ministry, like the actual doing of ministry while you've been here?
Yeah, very much. Just from the school, like I've been involved in worship teams for 3 of the years, and then this year I'm a worship leader. So that's been very exciting. Like,
Which you kill it, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I try my best.
Well, your best is really good.
Thank you. Yeah, but I love doing that. Honestly, one of my favorite things that I've got to be a part of since being here, I've been involved in the traveling worship team, which goes out on Sundays, which I don't know if you do that anymore, do you?
Yeah, it happens.
Yes.
Not as often as I'd like, but students are busy.
They still do that. And then I was a part of a live teams. I got to lead worship for that and just be involved in that. And then go trips. I have my freshman year, I went to Wales, which was super cool. We got to work with 2 homes that like were very similar to Teen Challenge, but they like kind of like lived in a house together, and we got to speak into their lives and go out and do evangelism with those moments were some of the coolest, because they had no shame about like just going up to people and like saying, hey, like this is the gospel and here's how it changed my life. And so those moments with the people from the homes there like really encouraged me to like step out a lot more my freshman year, just because I felt like I was pretty timid. Like I didn't really like to speak out. And then my sophomore year, I went to Kyrgyzstan with Michelle and Bryce, which was really awesome. Different culture.
Was that your first out of country experience?
That was my second, because Wales.
Oh, Wales, duh. Sorry,
Wales.
I'm a little slow on the uptake. Listen, this is my 6th interview today.
It's okay.
I'm lucky to be thinking at all.
Yes, honestly, yeah, yeah. But that was like a really long flight on the other side of the world, and so I had some people like have some pushback about that, like, I don't think you should go. And I'm just like, well, the Lord told me to, so I'm going to do it.
I don't think I should care what you think.
Yeah, God told me, so it's fine. But yeah, that was super fun. Different culture, like, it made me realize the world was a lot bigger than what I thought, like, in my small-minded, like, the reservation is it, and I'm going to live here forever. You know what I mean? And so it really opened a lot of things in my brain. And same thing for my junior year. I went to Kenya with you and Amy. That was really stretching. I'm not going to lie to you. That was really stretching, like, that many kids, and they were...
that many kids? How many?
So many.
It's like literally
Yeah.
several thousands.
Yeah, thousands of kids.
Several thousand.
They surrounded me. They surrounded me and almost took my hair out, but it's fine. No, it was good, though. Like, we got to speak in front of all these children and, like, tell them about Bible stories, and they were just so attentive. Like, is that the right word?
I think so. We'll pretend
Yeah.
it is if it's not.
Yes. Anyways.
Attentive.
Attentive, yes.
There we go.
They were so attentive. And that was just exciting, just to be involved in kids ministry. Like, I had never been involved in kids ministry in quite that way. So it was exciting, to say the least. But and then going to Las Vegas this year with you to work with human trafficking organization there, which is super exciting. I am excited to learn like how they do ministry and some other tactics, just because like me and Nate want to work on be involved in reservation ministry, and Native American women are like some of the highest percentage of women who are trafficked. And yeah, I just care a lot about that, those types of ministries. And so I'm excited to go.
Good. Mm-hmm. So you've talked about your academic journey a little bit and some of the experiences. What's the spiritual life on campus? What's that? I mean, you've mentioned chapel, obviously, and you're integral on some of that.
Yeah.
But as a whole, what does that feel like on campus?
Yeah. I think a lot about Respond.
What is that?
Student-led night of worship on Fridays, where we all come together. There aren't really any staff. It's just all students. And we're there for an hour and we just worship. And a lot of the moments where I've had the most spiritual formation has been those nights when people would come up to me and just read my mail, and we'd talk through it for all of Respond, and we'd sit together and cry and pray. And like, I would realize that I wasn't alone. Like, I would feel alone in those moments where it was just me and God, and then someone would come alongside me and lift me up. And I was like, wow, like, this is what community should look like. And I'm like, how can I replicate this and bring this to, like, the reservation? Like, I just love that model of, like, a community of believers coming together and encouraging each other towards the Lord. So,
I love how passionate, how excited, how much students love that Respond moment.
Yeah.
I've had conversations with people, we're asking students like, hey, what do you do for fun around here? Yeah. And they're like, well, on Friday nights
we go to Respond.
At 10 o'clock, we go to Respond. And genuinely, they're like, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's so great that it's student led, and that great and spiritual encounters are taking place through that.
And it's not even like all somber. Like, sometimes like we'll be hanging out after Respond and we'll just be like dancing. Like, it just feels like the joy of the Lord just comes out, because we just feel free from like some of the things that we've been dealing with. So some of those nights are really fun. That's for sure.
So obviously you've been here for your journey.
Yes.
What would you go back and say to little Al?
Oh gosh, that is not my name.
Little Alcista.
Yes.
What would you say to her?
I was thinking about this, and I would really tell her to not be so afraid to like put yourself out there and make friends. Like, obviously I was in sports, and that kind of secludes you a little bit
Sure.
from the rest of the community, just because you're gone on so many trips, and you make relationships with the girls that are around you. And like, I was afraid that people had a certain stigma about like athletes, and so I would just tell her not to be so afraid to make friends, because some of the friendships that I made here like are ones that I think will last a lifetime. So
That's true. And what would you say to, a potential student that was looking to come to Trinity?
yeah, I would tell them to come excited and expectant of like what God's going to do, because really some people will come and they'll grumble about God calling them here, and they'll miss opportunities, and that's just so sad to me. Like,
Yeah.
why waste opportunities when God's called you to so much? So
Sure.
yeah.
So intercultural studies,
Yes.
or missions, or whatever
Yeah.
language
However you
we
wanna
want to
call it.
put
Global
to
missions
that.
now.
Global missions. So what does that look like post graduation? Like, what are you hoping to be doing?
Yeah, there's a lot of different options. In my heart's desire, I would love to go back to my reservation and be involved in the ministry there. But as I've been here for the last 4 years, like, I thought that's what God was telling me to do. But I feel like that's shifted. Like, there's been a lot of opportunities to work at Home on the Range, the place where Gentry works, and with a lot of young Native youth who are troubled, and to work at Pine Ridge, the reservation there with Terry. And then we went on our internship and went to a reservation in southern Phoenix. And that was really great. I would really consider going back there. So there's options. I think it's just a matter of like what God would want out of us. And so I think I'm not trying to get overzealous, but like be obedient in the last thing that God told me to do. So
Sure.
just trying to finish this out.
Well, that makes sense. And we're filming this in late November, and so you still have a full semester left and some season, some time,
Yeah.
some months to figure out exactly what that looks like.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, we're excited for whatever that looks like, even if you don't know at this point in time.
Yes.
And we're certain, knowing you well enough, that you'll be obedient to whatever that is.
Yeah.
And that God's going to use you in incredible ways in your future, both you and your husband,
you. Thank you.
whatever that looks like. It's been an honor to sit with you today and have this conversation.
Yeah.
But it's been a joy to stand in chapel and worship with and alongside you over the last 4 years that you've led through that capacity. So thank you for your leadership and involvement in that.
Thank you.
So again, to you, the audience, the listener, whoever may be hearing this, man, I hope that you pulled something from these conversations, from this one, or maybe you've watched more of them. My heart is that we get to show you what Trinity's about and the life change that's taking place in our students' lives as they've been here, and how prepared they are for the future in ministry, whatever that looks like. So thank you for joining us today. Make sure you check out all of these senior stories right here on YouTube.